There are many successes and failures in the world of poker, but as it seems, not everything is what it looks like. What might look like a savage response or decision could also end up being one of the most reckless ones out there. This story is about the not-so-wise decision made by a poker legend who turned down millions of dollars. The poker legend is none other than Doyle Brunson, the godfather of poker. Doyle Brunson was an American poker player known as the godfather of poker. He was widely regarded as one of, if not the greatest poker player of all time, and a true legend in the game. Brunson died in May 2023 at the age of 89. Brunson is most known for winning the World Series of Poker main event in 1976 and 1977. He was one of just 4 players to have won the main event on several occasions. He accomplished this in consecutive years, something only 3 people have done. He won 10 WSOP bracelets and was admitted into the Poker Hall of Fame in 1988. He also won a title on the World Poker Tour in August 2004. Brunson wrote one of the first poker strategy books, Super System, which is considered one of the most important poker books of all time, and is credited with influencing many generations of poker players. Brunson was born in Longworth, Texas on August 10, 1933. Brunson was a superb athlete who excelled on both the track and the basketball court, just missing out on an NBA career due to a career-ending knee injury. He began playing poker in the years following his disability and finally got a job as a salesperson. Legend has it that on his first day of work, he was invited to a card game and won a month's salary in one night. Soon after, he began his professional poker career. Brunson's talent as a track and basketball standout earned him a seat in the Hardin-Simmons Athletic Hall of Fame, but he remained out for years until the Baptist College president, Eric Bruntmeyer, persuaded the school to admit the poker legend. Brunson's Christian upbringing influenced his entire career, and he was a highly pious and family-oriented man. After getting bored of the mafia-linked poker games on Exchange Avenue and Jacksboro Highway in Fort Worth, Brunson relocated to Midland and Odessa, West Texas, and started a career as a road gambler. Traveling throughout the Southern Circuit was a perilous occupation, with games including criminals, outlaws, and other dangerous circumstances. He didn't accomplish it alone, however. Doyle was a member of the Texas Rounders, which also comprised Brian Sailor Roberts and Thomas Preston as Amarillo Slim. Those involved would attend illegal poker games throughout Texas, occasionally sharing a bankroll. Much of what we know about Brunson's road gambling days is detailed in his autobiography, The Godfather of Poker. In one section, Brunson relates a poker game at a farmhouse outside Austin that was robbed at gunpoint. 7 guys with ski masks and shotguns rushed in. Nobody had a chance to escape, wrote Brunson. The robbers herded us up against a wall and ordered us to drop our lower garments. All of them. Brunson later moved to Vegas with his wife and 4 children. Poker was legal and far less risky in Vegas, so Brunson and his family had it a little easier. But this wasn't the highlight of his career. One of the most legendary or reckless, depends on how you see it, decisions he made throughout his poker career was turning down a huge sum of money. Let's get into that story and see what happened. Poker players from all around the world used to come to the now-defunct Doyle's Room for lucrative cash games and tournaments. While the site never surpassed PokerStars or Full Tilt Poker in terms of prominence and traffic, it did have an audience and a substantial player base during the poker boom. The Doyle Brunson named internet poker platform debuted in 2004 and was one of the casualties of Black Friday on April 15, 2011. As we commemorate the first ever Doyle Brunson Day on October 2nd to honor the late poker legend, we take a look back at the fascinating history of the relatively forgotten old-school poker site, as well as how Brunson left over $200 million on the table due to a missed chance. In 2004, the Tribeca Poker Network created Doyle's Room, intending to capitalize on Brunson's brand. Texas Dolly is a 2-time world champion who had previously won 9 World Series of Poker bracelets and would eventually win the 10th. His name was as connected with poker as Michael Jordan is with basketball. At the time, online poker was thriving, but still in its infancy. Sites like PokerStars and Party Poker dominated much of the market. However, several secondary sites began to emerge, claiming a sizable portion of the market share. Doyle's Room was always a secondary poker site, never a serious competition to PokerStars or the other big names in the market. However, in a period of tremendous demand, even second-tier poker sites were able to thrive. Brunson's poker platform was originally licensed in Curaçao, Netherlands, Antilles. TPN transferred Doyle's Room to Microgaming Poker Network in 2007, then Cake Poker Network in 2009, and finally Yete Network in January 2011. Brunson, who didn't administer Doyle's Room on a daily basis and was primarily a figurehead, enlisted the help of some famous members of the poker industry to promote his site, notably his son Todd Brunson, who, like his father, was inducted into the Poker Hall of Fame in 2016. The Doyle's Room ambassadors included Hoyt Corkins, Mike Caro, and Cindy Violette. April 15, 2011, also known as Black Friday, was the day poker changed forever. For the worse, not for the better. Online poker players around the United States awoke that morning to learn that the U.S. Department of Justice had seized all of the main poker sites for illegal gambling. Players were locked out of their online poker accounts and unable to play on such sites. The Department of Justice confiscated Doyle's Room on May 26, 2011 as part of the U.S. government's crackdown on internet poker. Brunson cut connections with his namesake poker site in 2011, saying he didn't want to be associated with a failing business. America's Card Room, formerly ACR Poker, an unregulated U.S.-facing poker site affiliated with the Winning Poker Network, bought the site in October 2011. Following the switch, ACR recognized exceptional Doyle's Room player account balances and provided online poker games to American players. However, the acquisition mostly resulted in the rise of ACR. Doyle's Room's days were over. Brunson earned millions of dollars playing poker throughout the course of his 50-year career, as well as through sponsorships and placing his face on the Doyle's Room brand. The godfather of poker made few mistakes in poker, but there is one he wishes he could have undone. Doyle recounted in a May 2020 tweet how he rejected down a $235 million offer for Doyle's Room prior to Black Friday. "I thought it was going to be worth twice that, and it would have been," Brunson wrote in response to the offer he rejected. Brunson never revealed which company or individual offered the nine-figure offer on his poker website. He didn't expect a Black Friday scandal to damage the U.S. online poker business. But if he had accepted the bargain, he would have been considerably wealthier, and the investor he sold it to would have lost a lot of money. Brunson's regret about not selling his poker site before UIGEA was mirrored by fellow Poker Hall of Famer Daniel Negreanu. "I built up Full Contact Poker from nothing, all basically with my own money," Negreanu remarked on Card Players Poker Stories podcast. "And within 6 months, I had an offer to sell it for $170 million. Literally 3 days later, this thing called UIGEA happened, so they pulled the plug on the offer." Negreanu and Brunson were hardly the only Greenfelt legends that missed out on earnings due to the legal landscape around online gaming. Before Black Friday, Hall of Famer Phil Ivey earned more than $900,000 every month for his work at Full Tilt Poker. But let's face the fact that he might have lost out on a lot of money, but it wasn't anything more than a chunk of bad luck. Yes, it was a huge loss, but it was also something inevitable. Tell us what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel before you leave.